Hi, and good evening, everyone. My name is Albert, and this is Vlogs About Nothing. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your very busy night to join me. I really do appreciate that. I was going to act like I didn't know what day it was, but unfortunately, I stumbled upon the day while I was fixing the phone that keeps falling because of that little thing called gravity. I'm just saying, I've had a beef with gravity since I could remember what it was, that bothered me about certain kinds of movements and so forth. And I know, without taking up too much of your time and diving right into this stupid, crazy rabbit hole, I'll spare you, and I'll just say that I really appreciate you guys watching my channel, and I really appreciate all the new people that are, engaging with the videos, in the way that they can. So hit the thumbs up, hit the thumbs down. If you're not already a subscriber, just take like 10 seconds, make sure notifications are on so you can see this lovely face every single time. So I post at least one video a day, and I am in the middle of a lifelong experiment, so much as I figure everyone else wants to experiment on me and sell my data and, just sort of turn me into an object. So I sort of figure, why not just turn myself into an object in all different ways of life? The truth is scary, guys. But nonetheless, that's just one of those things. Tonight I want to talk about two things. I want to talk about how Donald Trump has done something that I think is a good thing. Now, listen. Credit where credit is due, right? I'm an optimist. Sometimes too much of an optimist, right? I'm just a little old, dumb, middle-aged millennial guy, right? Who's just trying to get by and everything. And, I just kind of think it's cool that Donald Trump is offering a $5,000 incentive for women to have children. I mean, come on now. That sort of sounds like some socialist stuff to me, you feel me? Offering people money to procreate, that's very Marxist, super leftist. Thanks, Donald Trump, for actually, in and of itself, through the, rhetoric of hate, you seem to have stumbled on something that actually may be beneficial to women, and families, moreover, just because $5,000 is $5,000. Mr. Trump, why don't you give us universal health care so that $5,000 doesn't have to all go towards, giving birth to said child, you feel me? Help a brother out, and I mean, isn't that weird? Help a brother out, I'm not even having the kids. Startling realization, men probably shouldn't dictate laws that have to do with women's bodies, or I would just argue bodies in general, just because ask any guy out there and they'll tell you very little about their body. I know that I'm 37 years old, and I'm still learning things about this good old capsule that keeps me, safe from the outside world. And so also I want to talk about, the con man, the fascist, Hitler Jr. Are we allowed to say that name on YouTube? What kind of world is it when everything's so censored we can't even, hate on the H-man? You feel me? I mean, holy macaroni, he's probably the biggest punching bag ever. So why wouldn't we take shots, you feel me? Oh, what a dirty joke. Oh my god, no, let's not take shots at any sort of metaphorical kind of thinking, but bad jokes aside, let's continue. Holy macaroni, what a dark corner, what an evil man. All I'm saying is that Elon Musk, the same guy that gave that very same homage to the H-man, you feel me? That dude, I learned this morning, canceled Americorp. And I gotta tell you, that just, oh man, I was so frustrated this morning when I heard the news, just because I'm an Americorp alumni member, a very proud Americorp alumni member. I'm very proud of the things that I've been given an opportunity to do within my community, all of which includes, but is not limited to, some stupid high recognition as it goes with putting in my hours to be in the community, as so recognized by good old Uncle Sam. You feel me? I mean, so yeah, Americorp is very close to who I am. it has helped make me into the very civic minded person that I aim to be. And, I just would not be who I am or where I'm at in life without the influence of Americorp. Again, I'm a social capitalist. You feel me? I bag on Uncle Sam every moment I get, I mean, why wouldn't I? Again, punching bag, right? When your government's run by a clown and, that clown is a treasonous, dude, a fascist, right? By all intents and purposes. And for the record, to all the people that I know, watch these videos, why, I just sort of like, I respect the POTUS, right? I respect the office. I'm not, and I have never denied recognizing this fascist as our president, as my president. Never ever would I advocate for harming the dude. I was the first guy that had come out making videos about like how it's unfortunate that this dude is who he is, but I'm anti-death penalty and very anti-war and just kind of, yeah, I'm that way, and so I don't feel like those kinds of things should ever be advocated for. I don't think that they have any place in peaceful protest and or just kind of amicability so far as it, like being civilized is and stuff. I think violence is uncivilized. I do, you feel me? I understand that there are some different schools of thought out there, but I'm just saying, when you hear me bag on the good old boy and, the office, that's just because I am not, trying to be disrespectful. And this is, a disclaimer that I'm given just so that I can clean my conscience. And so all that you watch these videos, so that there's not a guy, in a black face mask and a beanie behind me rolling up asking me questions about this. It's just like, again, the dude's our president. All respect to the chair and to the position. After all, this is our country. This is the United States of America. And so, again, with all those things being said, it's really important to recognize the sort of kind of opportunity one has to exercise free speech in a kind of way that doesn't have to evoke violence or erratic behavior. You feel me? I mean, we don't have to get all crazy about understanding that people exploit us, and that I've always and forevermore will maintain the argument that our current commander-in-chief committed treason on January 6th, 2020. Now, again, that's the patriotic side of me, I guess. You feel me? Like, that's more American, I feel like, than anything that could be possibly construed as American. Like, I love our Constitution. I love our idea that, if we have the right infrastructure, we can soon move on from end-stage capitalism and, really focus on making the world a better place by enacting socialist policies here in the United States as a model for the world to use, working with countries like China, and in and of itself, I mean countries, not just governments, not just regimes, but, a kind of end scenario where more people than not on the surface of this planet are enjoying the quality of life that everyone born on the surface of this planet absolutely deserves without question. So, like, again, just understand all those things. You feel me? Because I truly feel that way. And I honestly haven't even started talking about Elon Musk in particular, and that's how we got here. But, Elon Musk, I'd like to see the dude's paperwork. I was soft joking to myself before this video started, and it's sort of like, we literally have let a man come into our country that, again, for all intents and purposes, I don't believe in borders. I want there to be sovereign global citizenship recognized by governments because, again, a kind of part of free will is being able to, choose as many things as you can in your life that can make you feel like you got some type of control. In the bigger scheme of things, it's kind of like not like that at all. We got very little control as to what actually happens to us in our lives. And, we had a lot of decisions to make and stuff, and I just feel like, we make a lot of bad decisions because there are a lot of bad people who have, they're like very motivated to continue behaving in the way that they are so that they can live a very selfish existence at the cost of so many other people. Now, again, bad jokes aside, you feel me, in terms of just like Elon Musk is not an American, okay? He, so far as it is, right, with like the whole hate kind of rhetoric going around, and babies getting deported and stuff that are citizens. Like, we were treating our citizens a certain type of way, right? Moreover, we also are alienating, potential future citizens, and we're not even talking about amnesty or naturalization, as if that term in and of itself isn't systemically racist. You want to be naturalized? Is that what's going on? Sign up for a class, make it all formal, and then you'll be a natural person. You'll be a natural citizen. Again, see, so there's a lot of doublespeak to this, right? And again, as a person, you feel me, it's sort of like, I wish Elon Musk the best, live your best life, dude. Like, you already are, and I'm not sure that you're even like sober enough to, well, like, remember this in the future, which is unfortunate, right? I mean, Jesus, dude, you got a lot of power and influence, I mean, you'd think that at some point you'd want to do good with that, but again, I can't blame you. You're surrounded by, other fascists. So, I mean, we can't really expect much, right? So, I mean, no slight on him as not being born here. I'm just pointing things out, right? I mean, for a long time, one of our POTUS here, was questioned as to where his birth was, and that was like a big deal, arguably racist a little, right? From the very same guy, by the way, who is now our president. I'm just saying, like, can't make this stuff up. It sounds like a fictional story, but my boy, Albert, it is not. So that's just kind of the way that it is, right? Elon Musk is a clown. Elon Musk is a naturalized American citizen. Again, I'd really like to see, like his test results and his test scores. The guy claims to be a genius, right? But those citizenship tests are hard. And I'm just saying to all my, sovereign, natural-born American citizens that you should try to Google one of those tests. And you will quickly find out that you, my American friend, are, might not be as American as you think. Because the people that immigrate to this country and spend hours of their lives learning about our history as grown adults end up learning way more about the way our government works than you could possibly care to know, right? Because you went to school, you remember the textbooks, and now you're a strong, empowered American person who just voted a man into office that, again, is a fascist and allows people like Elon Musk to dismantle parts of the government that have taken decades to build. Like, what, dude? Like, so much destruction within the government has happened, like, in the past 100 days than it ever has before in the entirety of our country's history. That sounds like some sus to me. You feel me? It sounds like there are some very motivated, powerful people. And again, this ain't no conspiracy talk. Like, literally, just Google who the leaders of this country are, and you will quickly find out that a bunch of oligarchs, this is kind of like a plutocracy, right? I mean, if you're rich, you sort of make the laws, and you sort of break the laws, and you sort of exploit all the people at the cost of you being able to exploit and break such laws, all while the world is, not a good place. Not a good place for the majority of the people that are trying to live out their lives, right? And so, again, I hate you, Elon Musk. Again, like, you have no business coming into a country that you were not born in, my friend. You were not born here. Like, I mean, why don't you go save Africa, dude? Like, seriously, like, I'm not even hating. You were born there, my guy. Like, you're the richest dude in the world. Like, show some neighborly love, bro. Like, go back to where you're from, dude, and show some love there. See how that's received, right? Like, because here, you're not being received well, okay? Seriously. Like, Tesla is a joke. If you weren't in bed with the government, we all know you would have been bankrupt 10 years ago, man. Like, who are you kidding? Seriously. Like, like, stop. That's what I'm saying. This is quintessentially one of those moments in life, right, where, like, I feel people, I talked about this the other night, make so many bad decisions that they're just like, F it, I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna be Satan's henchman, I'm gonna be his right hand. And it's sort of like, man, with that kind of thinking, you feel me, that'll get you down a real bad path real quick, so you gotta just stop. Seriously, stop what you're doing. Just stop, it's whatever. But, like, it must stop, because, like, right now, without Americorp, there aren't young people, there aren't old people. Americorp was a number of different programs that sent people out into the community to help them at no cost to the people that were receiving the help. This is, in fact, one of the only good things about fighting systemic injustice and being allowed to have your voice democratized in a way that is more beneficial to the community than you could possibly ever imagine. Some of these kids rely on AmeriCorps members. Some of these people that live out on the streets rely on AmeriCorps members to participate domestically in trying to fix the infrastructure of what fascists like Donald Trump and Elon Musk continue to try and dismantle every single day. So, like, yeah, fascists usually do that. They usually gut government. They usually take away all of the things that make the government, what it is good for. And then they are going to tell you that the government is not a good thing and that they need more power, just all while taking rights away from us. Guys, girls, they, them, we don't have to participate. We really don't. And we don't have to, be co-conspirators in what arguably is one of the greatest heists of modern political ideology in the known history of what we know about. And it's happening right in front of our eyes. So, again, Elon Musk, dude, you messed up, man. You messed up, dude. You really, you've made this personal now, my friend. And I will, spend the rest of my life advocating that you are not a good man. And that until you prove to the world that you are a good man, you will continue to be at least called out by people that have half a brain and can recognize the kind of con man that you are, okay? Seriously, dude, stop. So, that's all. That's all I got for you guys tonight. I'm gonna get out of character here, you feel me? Alright, hey, listen, I really appreciate you guys. Seriously, I try to open out each video talking about how appreciative I am, at least in some regard. Again, no offense to Elon Musk, Donald Trump, the Republican Party, even fascists, right? Like, again, I got love for all the haters out there, and that's a tough thing to say, because these people are terrible people. By every measurable standard of, being moral and ethical and just, a good person, these people aren't fitting the bill, but again, that doesn't mean that any of my speech has to ever be construed in a way that I am clearly and have been so clear about that, it's just, I could think something that I sometimes talk about too much, right? Because when I'm talking, I'm in character, I'm saying some really off-putting jokes at times. Sometimes I make myself feel uncomfortable, and that's just the nature of satire, that's the nature of comedy, that's the nature of the truth, and it's sad. Real comedy is sad. Don't you guys know? The tragedy, like comedies, and they're, it's just what it is, right? So, again, I have never and will never, ever advocate for doxing or for people to be violent or for people to get harmed, you feel me? Because, like, that would go against everything that I stand for. And again, that's a big pill to swallow, y'all. Like, you know how hard it is to tell a person with a brain that I don't believe in the death penalty? You know, again, because I'm observant, you feel me? There's some shitty people out there that do some really evil things. I can't even imagine, you feel me? And to just blanketly say that, you know, like, I don't believe, I'm anti capital punishment, you know, it's a lot. It's a lot. I get it. I've taken 37 years of my life to be comfortable with being confident enough in my belief in human beings to really have something to stand back on, you feel me? And ultimately, what I have to stand and fall back on is the idea and the theory that given the right circumstance and given the right opportunity and environment, people will surprise you and be really awesome. You know, again, like, everything you've ever been told, the things that you've been misled to, you know, hate other people for and stuff, like, if y'all let that go, you feel me, and just kind of, like, chilled, you know, you might understand it, right? And then you might be saying at home, well, you know, something didn't happen to you, you feel me? A lot of things have happened to me, you feel me? A lot, you know? And again, I'm grateful to be breathing still. You know, my life has hit such lows at some points that, like, trust me, I don't know how I've made it out sometimes. And that's, you know, I feel like, is that what has made me aware and woke to the idea? You know, again, maybe not. I don't really think so, because I think it's a question of maturity with age, honestly, and experience, and actually, you know, doing things, and you know, having conflict and resolving said conflict without having to unalive someone, or, you know, have to get locked up on some charges because you got cray, you feel me? Like, people say things. People are going to try and hurt your feelings. People are going to make fun of you. People are going to project. People are insecure. You know, I mean, I'm insecure. We're all insecure in some different aspects of our lives, you feel me? But just don't ever get it twisted, y'all. Like, I'm not the dude, you know? I don't believe in fighting. I don't, you know? And whether or not that makes me a good or bad person, I'm not here to assess said judgment on myself. You feel me? I just know that what I feel is right and what I think is wrong are things that I do in my life on the daily to try and be a better person. And I think a part of being a better person is not inflicting harm to your neighbor, yo. Like, I think a big part of learning how to live in peace with other people is like literally, you know, doing the things that I just talked about. Like assimilating yourself to other ideas and not being so afraid of other people, you know, like, being hateful towards you. Like, I don't get it, y'all. Like, I don't, and for a long time now, I've lived my life accordingly, you know, like, honestly. And it's not easy because, again, there are a lot of things working against people that make people really evil, you know. They like, the environment creates fascism, like, it creates fascists, you know, like, it's just, it is what it is. But then in that same way, like, if it is what it is, then it also can be changed. And real change can only happen from within. No one is going to change this government. Nobody is going to overthrow this government. Nobody, you know, real change, including the people within it. But what can happen is positive change from within. You know, that means that Americans, people that were born here, people, like, it's just that way right now, right? That we have a little more, you know, like, opportunity to speak our minds and do these different types of things. And before they're taken away, we really should be on it, yo. Like, we really should be on it. We really should be empowering young people. We should be warning them of the dangers that befall societies when, you know, like, things are crazy and people try to exploit you and so forth, and, like, make you feel a type of way. So, you know, my name's Albert. This is Vlogs About Nothing. Thank you very much for watching my show. I hope that you guys have a really good night, and I'll see you really soon, alright? Seriously, thank you. I've already said that. Bye.